All right, Buddha Z explains. Actually, today I'm going to explain the meaning of life. Glad to be here. The meaning of life. I'm always amazed at how people do not understand this or cannot figure out their own meaning of life. Well, if you get in my world and hang out with me and read my books, come to my classes, you'll figure it out real quick. Yeah, I can lead you to yourself. But here we go. Meaning of life. And there's a note under the title here. Oh, actually, I'm reading from my computer. Did we decide it looks better if I turn more this way and then read to you from here? So, the meaning of life. In fact, does that add a weird color to my face? Oh, well. I guess we'll be consistent and leave it there. They'll all be equally bad. All right. Meaning of life. And then underneath it, there's an explanation. It says, written after watching a documentary of people jumping off mountains dressed like flying squirrels. He died at the beginning of the documentary, so it was about his surviving wife. I watched a skydiver jumped. Let me start that over again. My throat. I went and made some tea a minute ago, but it was too hot. I just barely sipped it. After this poem, I'll go sip some of my herbal tea with honey in it. I watched a skydiver jump to be a non-survivor. It wasn't his first crash and burn. So if it's danger that's sought, paid for in thousands of dollars bought, with survival to unlearn, why would a young man want to die? Why would someone be compelled to fly? Answer: they sought the meaning of life. Death is an enhancement? He said, no past, no future, only the present. That's where he met his wife. She was there on that mountain where he took his last flight. She quit for a while, but life is a style, bringing her back to that site. Does she honor his death, offering for sacrifice her last breath? Now she's married to another jumper. When you want what death provides, where is the future that coincides the dream with your fleshy bumper? With talk as they're packing of all the precautions, preparing for the risk, with no emotions, awaiting the thrill of being scared. The risk of death we appropriately ignore seems a misplaced, unwanted statistical score of how those before you fared. Ignore the risk. You are amazing in daredevil tricks that keep the audience glad. GoPro cameras document your final path of heroic descent to that headstone of engraved pavement where people can visit and be sad. How can the meaning of life be an escape from our daily strife? Shouldn't they coexist or coincide? Perhaps our deep-rooted displeasure of slaving every day to earn some leisure is really a despised place we hide. I'm up for adventure with a positive purpose. I've risked life for sure, just like all of us. Everything in life has risk. But when you seek to see death through danger or crystal meth, perhaps time becomes too brisk. When existence is reduced to the dangers you did choose, the rewards of life are gone. If the pleasure to fly is approaching where you die, the meaning of life is wrong. That sums it up. That's it. So yeah, some people actually will go in the wrong direction to seek the meaning of life and end up in a bad place. That's why it's good to figure it out, when you're younger. I knew my meaning of life when I was 20 years old. I was working as a recording engineer in a recording studio, writing songs and recording and singing, and I was real happy. And now, 50 years later, I'm so happy to be able to do the same thing again. So, could have done a lot more of it in the last 50 years if, unfortunately, people wouldn't have diverted me or told me to offer my body for money. So, anyway. Starting to make me feel sad. No, I'm fine. I'm good. Let's get out of here. Okay, so there's the meaning of life. What's your meaning of life? What do you do? Like I said, I found my meaning of life was to be creative and create stuff and use technology. And yeah, I figured that out by the time I was 20. So I don't know about an age to figure it out, because I think you need to have choices. You need to experiment and see what the possibilities are, or what are you going to choose? If you live on a little island, well, it can be a monkey or a crab. Not much to choose from for identities. So anyway, you need to start looking for your role models and things, which you'd learn in my school. In my school, actually, in the very first semester, I think, first or second semester, you have to choose role models. And so I would be right there helping you to start envisioning your future. Because you want to pick people you like, people who you think you would want to be, so that eventually we can kind of plug you into the picture, okay? So anyway, all right, that's it. Let me get out of here. Let you go. How long was that? 7 minutes. Okay, see, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that if I don't have a lot to say, or can avoid a lot of talking, extrapolation, I can make these like 5 minutes. Because that's what I used to do, a lot of poetry readings in 5 minutes. And I could do 2 poems, but they're really fast, and I want to read them slower, and I do want to talk, and what the hell, there's nobody going to push me off the stage here. I'm in my office. Although it may look like the netherworld, we are in my office right now. And I liked it with the glowing light up here. I could have taken that out, but it also helps me illuminate the book a little bit. But when I saw how it lit up the background, I thought, oh, I just love it for that effect, so me, the gaffer. The gaffer is a lighting person. Okay, so anyway, get out of here. By the way, I'm probably sticking music on the. I have no idea what's going on there. And also look in the descriptions, because, like I said, these podcasts are kind of supposed to be infomercials or promotions for all the products and stuff that I'm making. Classes, books, music, albums, music videos, a lot of stuff that's free, stuff I'd like you to buy. If enough people buy stuff, I can actually get a car. So anyway, buy stuff. But anyway, just enjoy my stuff as much as you can, and hopefully as you enjoy it more and more, you'll find some stuff you got to buy to enjoy. And if it's not worth it, don't do it. But I like to think a lot of my stuff is worth the price. Plus, I tend to be a little cheaper, but that still shouldn't matter. If you price my stuff is even higher than everybody else, it should still be worth it. All right. Oh, let me salute out of here. Buddha Z has explained the meaning of life. Hey, I should get applause for that. Hey, he knows the meaning of life. And he actually showed it to somebody else. But I also showed you how it can be wrong. Because if you don't get it right, what's the point? You got to have a meaning of life that's a good meaning of life, that's good for you, good for the world, good for your family, good for your... you got to start with making it good for you. But if you don't know what's good for you, sometimes making it right for other people can help you shape it into something that will be good for you. So there's a lot of ways to come at it. I try not to... I've learned the older I get, the less advice I want to give. I'm willing to tell you what I criticize you. Give me information, and I'll deal with that information. But I'm not into cookie cutter molds. Just try to get everybody to fit into certain identities. Until you decide what that identity is, and then we can kind of shape you into that. But until you make that choice, I really don't want to. I try not to, like, if somebody says, "Oh, I'm playing guitar" or something, it's like, "Oh, I don't want to encourage them because maybe they're crappy guitar players." I know somebody who's told me that they've been taking some piano lessons, but they don't like it. They don't like the practicing. So it's like I don't want to ask them how it's coming along because then I'm kind of encouraging them. So I've learned in my older age to avoid helping people do things that might not be good for them. But if it was good for them, even if other people disagreed, I'd help them, or I don't know, take everything on an individual basis. Like I said, no cookie cutter decisions, even from me. Did I already salute out? Did I say goodbye? I think I did, didn't I? Did I say goodbye? Well, if I didn't, I owe you one. It's still recording. All right, see you later. Oh, praying mantis. See, in the praying mantis, I use these 3 fingers to grab, and then this finger I could poke with, but it doesn't really have a lot until you put this thumb under it. Now, I can poke holes in boxes and all kinds of stuff now with that extra thing. So that's the praying mantis. I grab, poke. Okay, so anyway, I was gonna poke my thing. Oh, I poked it, but it didn't land.
Crystal gives and Crystal takes. She looks like Popeye when she gets the shakes. Oh, baby. Oh, oh. At the 7-Eleven, she yells and screams up and down the block. I lost my husband to another man's cock. Oh, baby. Oh, babe. At the 7-Eleven, at the 7-Eleven, a bum's at the door. A movie star enters and a matador. During the day and even better at night, standing between vampires for a big bite. There may be a huddle of homelessness or a pair of policemen getting a tease. Oops. Thought I'd been attacked by something. It was a hairball. There may be a hand... Okay, here we go. Part 2. There may be a huddle of homelessness or a pair of policemen getting iced teas. Oh, my, my. Oh, my, my. At the 7-Eleven. You may not be a winner or a never bet, but the prices at 7-Eleven include the memories you won't forget. Oh, my. Oh, my, my. At the 7-Eleven, at the 7-Eleven, a bum's at the door. A movie star enters and a matador. During the day and even better at night, standing in line with vampires for a big bite. At the 7-Eleven, at the 7-Eleven.